Welcome to the Sovereign Free Life podcast. I'm here with amazing Clint Morgan from Australia, and you are a great leader in our international community. You are one of my amazing mentors, and you really, paved the way for so many of us. And you are an artist, a father, and really, really dedicated to just bringing freedom out there, and like freedom of authenticity, being yourself, being in your expression, and then just having this wealth boost, and especially also inspiring a lot of men to kind of step into their the masculine, the positive masculine side. So yeah, would love for you to just introduce yourself, Clint, and tell us a bit like how it started. I know you've been to Sweden also. We talked about that before in your path, but would love to hear like what got you started and what have you met on the way and how did you go through the things and come to this hugely successful life that you have today?
Hmm. Great to be here. Thanks for having me. And I love my Swedish home. I have a strong resonance with Sweden. I've spent some time over there, and maybe I'll share that part of the story as I'm going along. And so my journey really began when I was back in 2008, and I went and traveled Europe, and I saved up a bit of money. I was just sort of working in a standard job, saved up some money and went to Europe. And that was when I first went to Sweden. I spent a week in Stockholm and just loved the place, and loved many other countries in Europe. And when I went back to my job, which I enjoyed, I just realized that I was like, I guess after seeing the world and seeing what more was out there, being back in an office, I was like, it's got to be more to life. Like I was like, this can't be it. And so I had a friend of mine who was a PT and a personal trainer, and he was making good money, and he seemed to enjoy what he did. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll give that a try. So I went to this, signed up for this course, and learned how to become a personal trainer. And it was in that course that the I guess I discovered my first mentor, and he was a guy who was successful. He had money, he drove a Ferrari, he could talk, he was confident. And I was this like super introverted, shy, nervous guy. And so he sort of like had the life that, I looked up to. And he said something to me which really sunk in and was a new way of viewing life. And what he said was that you can become, do, or have anything you want in life. It's just a matter of putting yourself in front of the right information, surrounding yourself with the right people and environment, and taking action in the direction of the thing you want to do, be, or have. And I was like, nah, it can't be that. Like that's not true, really. No. And but part of me like believed him because I trusted him, I liked him, and so I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. So he just suggested reading some books like Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Magic of Thinking Big. And so I started doing that, and I my life quickly started changing, and I just noticed like how I was thinking was changing. I started to view life a little bit differently. I started like getting uncomfortable and putting myself in scenarios like, selling. And as a PT, I was putting myself like just going to talk to strangers and asking them if they wanted to come in and train and things like that, which was very foreign to me. It wasn't something that I was doing in the past. So I'm like, wait a second, I am changing. Like I feel more confidence in myself. I'm working for myself now. I wasn't making heaps of money, but I was working casual or my own sort of hours. And I'm like, I had a little bit more autonomy and freedom. And so I just continued on that path of personal development. What I realized as my personal training business started to grow and started to grow, I started to make more money, which I thought was really cool. But the more money I made, the less time that I had.
Mm.
And my goal within that business was to have more freedom and to travel. But I realized like I didn't have any of that. The more money I made, the less time I had and the less freedom I had because I had to be there for all my clients. So I was like, there's got to be a better way. And I read a book called The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. And in that book, he mentioned something really powerful. The book was amazing, but I just remember this one sort of statement that he said, and he said that most people get into business and then they try and fit their career and lifestyle around their business. He said, what you want to do is get clear on your dream lifestyle first, then find a business model which matches that. And so I'm like, my PT business, it's not matching this lifestyle that I
Mm.
want. So I had a client at the time, and she was in network marketing, and she just seemed like happy. She was very flexible with the time. She could work whenever she'd come in when she wanted. She was always like having a laugh and being playful and fun. And I was like, this chick, like I really like this person, right? And so I was curious what she did. And so I decided to leave personal training. I reached out to her, Jenny, and she introduced me my first time to network marketing. And I went to this event. There was all these people. Everyone was really inspired by vision. They were selling these products. Everyone was like really excited about these products. And so I got started in that business, and I didn't make much. I made a little bit of money, but I didn't make much money. But I learned a lot, and it opened me up to the industry. And so after about 18 months, not really making much money, I decided to quit that. And I actually went back to PT for a little bit. And then during that period, I started to realize, I started to discover water. I went to this retreat, and it was a retreat around like energy and manifestation and healing and this sort of stuff. It was my first sort of like spiritual personal development retreat style thing like that. And they had Masaru Emoto. They
Okay.
had his work, right? And they showed like messages in water. Your thoughts has an effect on water.
Mm.
Both negative and positive has a different effect on water. And I was like, wow, there's this whole thing around water. And so I started to look into water, and I started to look into water filtration. And I realized that even as a personal trainer, I'd always tell people to drink more water. Like it was a crucial part to their body transformation, their optimum health. I was like, you got to drink lots of water if you want to flush toxins from your body, etc. But then I realized I was like, I never told people to drink filtered water, bottled water, structured water, and there was all these different types of water. I just say drink water. But I realized that not all water is the same. And so I started like diving deep into water and exploring it and understanding it. And I was like, I really want to bring this message to the world
Mm.
around like looking after your water, and also this idea of like frequency structured water. And so I was actually in the process of making a product, like some sort of product I could like maybe buy a filter from China and white label it and sell it in Australia and market it and all this sort of stuff.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so
I'm
you were already into that. Wow.
already into that, yeah. And
Mm.
so I actually hired a guy to help me with marketing. He was a sales and marketing guy.
Mm.
And he said to me, he's like, I told him the idea. He's like, I love it. He's like, what's your product? And I said, well, I haven't actually found a product yet. I'm still looking for one. If you can help me with that. And he said, well, listen, mate. He goes, have you heard of Kangen water? No, never heard of it. He said, well, listen, I met this guy in Canada just about a month ago, and he's selling these machines. And he goes, they're $5,000 a machine. And when he said $5,000, I was like, 5 grand. I was like, what the hell does this thing do, for $5,000? And he goes, but they paid 50% in commissions. It's a network marketing company. And I met this guy, and he's selling a couple of machines a month. He has a team. He's making X amount, which is very impressive. And he only works about 15, 20 hours a week. And I was like, okay, this sounds pretty cool. I said, okay, well, connect me with your guy. And like the inside, I was just wanted to see what this water was. I just wanted to try it, 5 grand. I'm like, this sounds like it's next level. And so he connected me with the guy on Facebook, which was Balaj W. Cardos. And so he introduced me to Balaj. And so he just happened to meet him a month before at this event. And
Mm.
so he introduced me to Balaj, which what I discovered is that this water was the best of the best. It was the top product on the market. It did what it did to water, like what my ultimate vision and goal was, but in a way
Mm.
that was like super effective. There was already a company that was already spanned the globe that already had, over 1 million sales at that time. and are in 100 different countries. It was in a business model which I loved and I could see the vision of, which to me it seemed that that business model created freedom and a lot of wealth and a lot of opportunity and gave the power back to the people and created not just opportunity for me as the business owner, but we were able to share the wealth with other people and people that I could build a team and
Mm,
yeah, step into my leadership and do everything that you do in network marketing with a product that I truly uh, believed in. And
mm,
so,
mm. How
yeah,
was the conversation with Balazs? I would love to hear that because those who don't know that, like Balazs is like one of the top leaders in the world, like with together with you. It's done amazing impact as you have as well. But how was that first conversation with Balazs? I would love to hear about that.
just one little thing which
Yeah,
I
of course.
was having a conversation with Balaj today. So one of the guy that introduced me to to Balaj, one thing he said was, and I don't know if I mentioned it just then, but he said Balaj is doing around 30 sales in his organization every single month, right? And back then I was like, I don't know, I wasn't sure if that was impressive, but it sounded pretty good, right? Had
Mm.
a chat to Balaj today, and in January, his organization did 11,000 sales.
Oh God.
11,000 from 30. That's in
11,000.
10
Oh
years.
my God, that must be a huge percent of the whole global like sales
It
in the
is
whole world.
roughly about 40, 50%. Mm.
Oh my God, that is amazing. That's the power of like what I mean, what Balazs did and what you've been a part of, like linking the online space with this incredibly like powerful offer, like and
Mm.
system. Yeah, and it's like the exponential growth. I saw the other day, like when because we're doing ads a lot of the time to spread the word, and I saw that it's an increase of 900% every year that search for Kangen water and attic. It's
Oh,
like
wow.
it's exploding at the moment. Like so many people are realizing, firstly, what I see in Sweden, it's like people realize, okay, maybe the water is not good. They start to
Mm.
have a filter, they start to like distill, they start to do something. But after a couple of steps, it's like, okay, there's the next level. Like there's all the aspects of the water. And then the Kangen water comes in. And when you do the research, like, okay, that's it. Like that's the end kind of place where people end up. And I think that's where people are ending up right now. Like they're realizing that's the
Mm.
kind of the top level in a way.
That's that's great to hear about Sweden because when I went there, I was about, well, it was actually the first year I got started back in 2015, I believe it was, or 2016. And I went to Sweden and everyone was like, oh, no, there's water in Sweden's great. You know, the tap water is the
Exactly.
best in the world and all sort of stuff. And I'm like, it's pretty good. Like it is better than Australian water. It's
Mm.
not as
Doesn't
chlorinated.
stink. Yeah.
That's not that bad, but I'm like,
Mm.
it's no Kangen. It's no Kangen water. So it's
Mm,
good that you got
mm.
the cottoning on.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly. But let me know also because I know you've been through you and Kristie, your wife, like you've been through ups and downs and you really just been this pure what do you say, dedication and you stuck to the goal like through all of this and now you're having this amazing expansion. Can you tell me a little bit about the journey then with the Magic and like how you got started and you saw the vision? Um, can you tell me about that journey and what are the key things you would kind of give people that you've learned, like the key skill sets that you've seen that have taken you forward and through?
hmm. Yeah, so when I first got started with the Magic, I didn't have the money to get started personally. However, I saw the vision and I sensed there was something big in it. Um, and I felt it in my body. I was like, I have to do this thing. And I actually had a conversation with a lady and she was interested in getting a machine. And so I was like, she wanted to get a machine. I was like, I need to get one before she does. So I borrowed a bit of money off my mum, my dad, and my sister to get like down deposit to get going. And I got my products and I was able to pay my mum I pay them back within 30 days of starting the business. because that person that I got started, they made a few sales and I was able to generate thousands of dollars in my first month,
Wow.
which
Mm.
which at the time was huge for me because I was just at home living with my mum at the time because I'd sort of finished my business. I was just working a job and I was in a really low place financially in a lot of debt. And so I was able to get my own place. And since then, Enagic has supported my lifestyle. And in the early days, it was a very modest lifestyle. I went over and lived in Sweden for a little bit. I was in Kungsholmen. I was living on a boat there on the river. And but there was just a little bit of money coming into my account every single month from some team sales and sales that I was making. And since then, there's been ups and downs, and because of the nature of the business, it's direct sales. And so, it depends on you making sales, and then you support your team makes sales, and you make some money from their sales and things like that. And so, I the network marketing model, direct sales model, it has so many benefits. It's such a powerful business model, especially to get to a point where we are today, where you're earning these legacy payments and you're getting paid money, whether you're making team sales or not. And to give you an idea of where our business is at now, this month, and we're still counting the end of month sales, but it's at 1,522 sales for the month in our organization, right? And me personally, I didn't actually put one sale in. That was all team sales. And so I'm like, this is incredible to see what can happen in that's a decade, 10 years in the business. And so you really do have the freedom to live your life. And I really look at my life now, and life has its ups and downs, its twists and turns. It's good moments, it's bad moments. Like my brother passed away a couple of years ago, and just to have the money coming in and the to support me through that time when I didn't feel like working. I didn't want to, but I was like, I didn't have to either. And so to be able
Mm.
to like really be with that and grieve and be there for my brother when he was sick, and be with my family when they needed me, and to be able to
Mm.
just fly down to Sydney and go and see my brother and my family and things like that, and then really just take my time integrating back into business. I was like, I don't know how people work in regular jobs, have regular businesses and things like that, because life itself, it's complex. There's a lot of
Mm.
moving pieces and moving parts. You've got family, you've got your health, you've got different things to navigate. So to have a business that can be worked casually and in spare pockets of your time, and really just uh, really creating your own schedule. I work when I want to
Mm.
work, not when
Mm.
someone's telling me to work. I can wake up early. Some mornings I got projects and things that I'm working on. Some mornings I wake up at 3 a.m. because that's what I want to do. And I'll do that for a little bit. Then I'm like, actually, 3 a.m., that's too early. So I'm like, all right, tomorrow I'm having a sleep and I'll get up at 7, and I'll work maybe a bit later that night or during the day or whenever. So I get to choose when I work. And
Mm.
then some
Mm.
days I don't feel like doing that. And so I'll take a day to myself. So to have that like freedom and flexibility when, life happens it's such a blessing. And
Mm.
it's a really
Mm.
powerful place to work towards.
Yeah,
But yeah, like
like
the
to
journey's
be
been
there
up.
what in the important moments in life, like not to miss life. It's like I had actually an event, a physical event in southern Sweden the other day, and and we were talking about that. Like so many of them felt like on the verge of burning out, and like people are waking up to that maybe this is not healthy. The way we spend our time, the way we just give away our energy. And I know,
Thank God people are waking up to that.
yes.
About bloody time. About time.
Definitely. And I mean, you're creating this, you have this beautiful group where you're all welcome to the wealth revolution. And I feel it's such a good word. Like it's really a wealth revolution because it's, like you said in the beginning, it is a huge mind shift that needs to happen. I think especially in Sweden and Scandinavia, where it's like so ingrained, it should like life and work is tough. It's blood, sweat, and tears. Like if it's not hurting, it's not real. Those kind of things. Like, what would you say to that? What does that wealth revolution look like for you? I mean, one thing is to free your time, right? But how do we lead people from believing that life has to be tough, that's the way it is, to kind
Mm,
of seeing that, oh my God, there can be so much space and so much time and meaning, you know?
mm. Yeah. So our community is really uh yeah, it stems from a few different principles and ways of being and ways of viewing life. And one of those principles is being growth focused. And so we really have a strong culture of growth and being open. And I feel that's like the cornerstone of what we do. And being open means you're open to different perspectives, you're open to different beliefs, and you're open to different ways of life. Because if you're sort of if I thought of like how I used to think when I used to go to school, and even as a young adult, I got a job because that's what I thought you just did. You finish school, you go and get a job, you earn some money, you progress in that, you get a pay rise from your boss if you want more money, and you just progress in your career. And if I wasn't open, like I shared that example from my mentor, where he shared that different perspective, then I would still probably be stuck in that mindset, So just being open to different possibilities, different ways of life. And you see people in our community, they come and break, you know, perceptions and paradigms all the time, even in the entrepreneurial space. It's like, because you could look at, some of the ways we market our businesses, like you said, using social media advertising. And even this social media advertising itself, you could approach that going, this is really hard, challenging. Oh my God, I'm not getting much leads. I'm spending a lot of money. And then someone else could come and approach that same thing going, oh my God, this is so easy. This is so much fun. Like, this is really exciting. Like, I get to invest this money and then I get this return. I get to talk to all these people, and these are people that I never knew in the past. And it's, the same thing. It's just a different perception. So someone will come in and share that's their perception. And then you'll be like, oh, wait, I'm viewing this in the total wrong way. What if I saw it as fun and exciting and a new adventure and a new challenge and something that's, maybe it's not easy. Maybe it is something that's gonna, stretch you outside your comfort zone. Um, but that's okay. And so when you view things with an open mind and an open heart, and just understand that there's just probably something that you don't know yet, and there's a group of people that are living a life that's different to yours, and it's just a matter of like surrounding yourself with the right people, consuming, different information and taking action in the direction of the thing that you want to create. And, a different life is possible for you as well.
And would love to hear like what you have been able to create with this. Like the, I know you're living a beautiful life. I know you've bought some land, building retreat centers, but would love to hear more about like what you have created and then like move into the big vision, because I think when you're stuck in this kind of wheel of struggle, you don't often kind of dare even to lift your eyes to the horizon and like see, okay, but maybe I could actually achieve my big goals, you know.
Mm, mm, yeah. Yeah. So my the four things that I've created in my life that I'm the most proud of, actually there's five things. The first one is marrying my beautiful wife,
Oh.
Kristie. Finding my soulmate. I went to Sweden to find my wife, and but realized she was back in Australia all along. I came back
Yeah.
home and we got together and got married. And since then, we've had three beautiful children. My son is 7. His name's Venice. My daughter is 4. She's turning 5 soon. Her name's Ava. And then Ruby Rose is my youngest. Her birthday is on Friday. She's turning 3.
Oh, amazing.
So uh, that's my greatest achievement. And then my fifth greatest achievement is the person that I've got to become along the journey.
Mm,
And
mm,
if I look at myself 10 years ago or even further back than that, just being really unsure, really nervous, really bad at money, in a lot of debt, in a really bad place, very negative mindset, unsure about myself. to where I am today, just being having the confidence to fulfill my life and do my thing and show up and lead people and be an inspiration to others. For me, that's like the greatest gift that I've been able to give myself. And my life's very different when you have the belief to pursue your dreams. You know, when you see something in your mind or you feel something in your heart and you're like, this is what I need to do. Like the event we did in Sweden. I was
Mm.
like, you know, I'm going to do an event in Sweden on the other side of the world with Maneka in my team in Sweden over there. I've got no idea like of anyone except her over there. But let's do it, you know, and just
Yeah, that was so amazing. It was like it was a turning point in history or something. I can't explain it. Like, I'm so
incredible.
happy we did that, Clint. Like, we had a Wild and Free festival in Stockholm, and people came from all over the world. And I think it was the kind of perfect mix, and that's what I feel in our community as well, of this personal development side where you're really about finding who you are, like what you really want, beyond what everyone is expecting, coming into your body, doing breath work. And then on the other side, it's like hard facts like, okay, funnels and systems and like outreach and, so many kind of skill sets as well, like mixing the right and the left brain in a way. So it was an amazing experience. I'm so happy we did that. Looking forward
So,
to more events in Europe soon.
yeah, they're coming. They're
Oh,
coming. They're coming.
yeah, that would be great.
So yeah, just to like, have the confidence and resilience and to really be able to back yourself and go in that direction of the thing that you want to create. Like to me, that's freedom. And another thing I've been able to pursue myself is music. It
Mm.
was only a few years ago, I was like, I realized that I, you know, I was nervous in social situations. The idea of public speaking frightened the hell out of me. But here I was speaking in public. I was making money and a lot of money and had achieved this legacy income. I was like, wait a second, what my mentor said to me was true. I can become anything I want to become. Right. Then I had this download. I was like, I want to be a musician. Then I was like, I can become a musician. And so I started taking action in that direction and found myself a mentor, got myself in the right environment, and just stepped up and did something and just learned. I just realized I didn't know how to write music. And so I learned how to do it and started creating hip hop music. And now I've written an album. It's nearly close to being released. I perform on stages all
Wow.
the time. People ask me to rap. I do it all the time. I love it. My kids sing my songs with me and we perform on stage together. And it's amazing. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have that conversation with my mentor and then prove it to myself that I can become anything I want to become as long as I put
Mhm.
myself in front of the right information, the right environment, and take that action in the direction of what I want to create.
Amazing. And I think your song, like the lyrics, it's all about freedom, like stepping into your true self. Like, yeah, amazing that you doing something completely new, like it's also about who you are, I think. Like you just put yourself out there, like without blinking in a way. I've seen you, it's like, yeah, you just do what you want to do without apologizing. And I love that about you, Clint. Really.
Sometimes it gets me into trouble, but it's
Yeah,
worth
no,
it.
I can imagine. But you have to be a bit of trouble as a rap artist, right? Like,
Yeah, comes with the territory.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the last question now, I know you have a full family back home to take care of maybe and everything. It's just like, what is your broader vision for the future? What do you see us create like in this movement and for you personally and also for the team? Because we are in such expansion times. I know people think that, oh, when economy is going down, like nobody could buy an expensive machine. It's the opposite, right? Like we're seeing this complete expansion. But beyond that, what do you see being created?
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's people are valuing health more than ever. And and I guess like you could see the other side of that where people are getting more unhealthy and sicker and fatter and they're going down the pharmaceutical route, et cetera, and they're taking all those trial thingies and all that sort of stuff. And there is that group of people. And then there's people that are waking up and, wanting better health. They're eating better food. They're making better choices. They're wanting to do something different. They're wanting to have more freedom, and they wanted to have more time to really enjoy their life, see the world, homeschool their children, or create communities of education that's based around what, we feel is actually beneficial for the children and their empowerment. And so there's this revolution that's really happening. And so with that revolution, people want to, have the best of things. And so they want good food. They want to have the best water. And so they're willing to invest into technologies which are going to enhance that. And not only that, within the enagic space is like, it's not just water now. We're able to support people with frequency. Like EMF is another big problem that we're facing, electromagnetic fields, and being able to combat that with the M Guard. Then we're also stepping into air and air purifiers. And it's like, what else does Mr. Shiro have up his sleeve? I'm not sure. Probably some other cool technologies. And so these are really powerful technologies, which I feel with the shift that where the world's going with AI and technology and computers and technology and stuff like that, it's like we need to have something to combat that, to balance things out. And so water, EMF, your air, your shower, what you're putting on your body, and then having some supplements which can support your body and nourish them. We've got that part covered, and we're able to like leverage this transition and this wave and this revolution that the world's going on, and be a solution for people. And with that solution, another problem that people are facing is like time and money, and they're not happy in their careers. We're able to like now take these products and be part of that distribution of them around the world, and sharing the wealth, sharing the money and the growth of a powerful company. And so, and really be able to ride that wave. And so, the company is currently sitting at around 1 billion annual revenue. And in Australia, they just mentioned at our last event, we went down for a leadership event end of last year, that they'd hit 1% market penetration.
Wow.
Right. I was like, 1%, that's amazing. And I was like, imagine when we go to 2%, right? That's double. So that's 1 billion globally to 2 billion. That's a big shift in itself. And it's not that much. It's not going to 10%. That's 10xing, So there's a lot
But
of
it's also
growth.
like with this organic kind of model we work with, it's like the exponential curve is already going up, because it's not duplicating just with you. It's with like you find another person, they duplicate, another duplicate. Like it's this huge kind of expansion that just can't be stopped even. Like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so happy, Clint, to have you on, and so happy to be a part of this together with you. And I think, yeah, like when I saw this, I was looking for a hook. I was like, but there must be something wrong, this kind of mind in people is always trying to put things into boxes and this and that. And then I think after a week, I was like, there is nothing, there is no hook. Like it's all good. Like something can be all good, you know. And that's like, I'm almost 6 years in now, and it really is. It's so it's just good all the way through. And also I get to meet amazing people like you, like Kristie, everyone else, and make friends, all over the world. So huge thank you, Clint,
You're
for
welcome.
sharing your wisdom, inspiring us so much. And yeah, really looking forward to like 10 years, see what we're creating then, right?
Let's watch this in 10 years, and
Yeah,
then we'll do another one and see what's happened over the last 10
exactly. Yeah, we will. I will hold you to that, definitely.
years.
Yeah, it's just
Thank
this
you so
time.
much. I love your vision,
Yeah,
and I love
thank you,
I
Clint.
love your community
Thank
and
you
what
so
you're creating.
much. Bye
Thanks for having
bye.